We're here today on the King Edward Burn. This is a lower Deveron tributary, and it's a significant tributary in the terms of the Deveron. It's hugely important for salmon and sea trout spawning, but it also supports river lamprey, kingfisher, osprey, and also otter. One of our main goals on this project and through our wider scheme Project Deveron, we want to provide cold, clean water for species up and down the river. So by removing the dam here, we're going to give access to over 11 kilometres of spawning grounds, which will ultimately increase the production of salmon and sea trout within the system and help the river ecosystem as a whole. This project couldn't have gone ahead without the support from the landowners, stakeholders and partners. The survey was done by Trex Ecology to see what was required on the tributary. We then worked with CBEC to come up with the designs, the flood risk assessment, everything that was required for the SEPA car licence. We then worked with the Atlantic Salmon Trust through Project Deveron to find the funding required, which was provided by the River Within, Pernod Ricard, and also the Open Rivers programme. And without all these partnerships and stakeholders, this project couldn't have gone ahead.
The equipment we're using here, we've got two 14-ton excavators working in the background. One of them has a rotating grab on it, which is great for manoeuvring stone, great for manoeuvring the trees that we've got here with the root plates attached. We feel that a plant of this size it's a really good balance between size and power and flexibility for projects of this sort of scale. The actual physical act of removing a weir is relatively straightforward. What takes the time and takes the programming and takes a lot of kind of skill to execute is the bit that comes before and the bit that comes after removing the weir. So prior to removing the weir here, we've been working off-site. We've been gathering large wood structures. They are typically trees with the root plates attached and maybe 5, 6, 7 metres of trunk left on them. And they'll be installed both within the banks where the weir was and also further downstream as well. So some of the challenges we've faced on this project so far have been the trees, which are a major component of this. We worked in close collaboration with the Rivers Trust and a landowner on Mount Blairy to find the trees, to safely work with a local tree surgeon to make them safe. A lot of them had been windblown. And then to extract them, clean them and transport them down to site. We have a bit of space here, but not a huge amount. We're surrounded by some nice trees. We obviously don't want to damage them. And we want to try and keep the footprint of where we're working, keep that area as small as possible. So the main challenges we're having to overcome really are sequencing. So it's doing everything in a really systematic manner, doing it with the right piece of equipment. The operators here are excellent. On a project like this, you do something once and you do it right and then move on.
So this project will not only bring benefit to the local ecosystem, but it will also bring benefit in the long term to the community. A huge amount of work's gone in here to remove the dam, increase access to the river, which will ultimately increase the fish stocks, which will also help other species up and down the river and will ultimately help the fishery in the long term.